Next, let's go to Iran for you now on the programme, where an agreement has been reached today to extend the United Nations monitoring of nuclear sites until next month. It comes amid ongoing talks in Vienna to try and revive the 2015 nuclear deal. That's the one that Donald Trump pulled the United States out of. Now, these attempts to improve relations come less than a month before elections in Iran. Let's talk about all of this with Reza Sayah. He's our correspondent in Tehran. He joins me now. Reza, first of all, how significant is this agreement today to extend that monitoring at nuclear sites in Iran?
It's significant because it seemingly buys time for the parties in Vienna who are underway with an effort to revive the deal. This is a last-minute agreement today between Iran and the IAEA, the UN's nuclear watchdog, that at the very least avoids a situation where tensions would escalate between Iran and European signatories to the nuclear deal between Iran and Washington, and at the very worst avoids a situation that would derail the current talks in Vienna. Let's explain what happened today by first looking at yesterday. Yesterday was the final day, the deadline of a 3-month agreement signed between the IAEA and Iran back in February. You'll recall in February, Iran cut off the IAEA's access to video camera content and data gathered by those cameras at Iran's nuclear facility. It was part of the IAEA's inspection of Iran's nuclear facilities. And then it made an agreement with the IAEA saying the European signatories to the nuclear deal have 3 months to either revive the Iran nuclear deal or provide relief to Iran for U.S. economic sanctions. Iran said if that would happen, they would hand over the content of these video cameras to the IAEA. If that wouldn't happen, they would destroy the content. Yesterday came, it went. Obviously, there was no revival of the Iran nuclear deal, so there was a lot of questions. Would Iran follow through with its threat and destroy the content of the video cameras? And of course, today we had a last-minute agreement between the IAEA and Iran. The two sides agreed to extend the 3-month deal for 1 more month. So the way things stand right now, Iran is not going to destroy the content of the video cameras, avoiding a potential tense situation between Iran and the West, and seemingly buying some time and breathing space for the process going on in Vienna, the signatories to the deal making an effort to revive the deal. Nadia?
And as I mentioned, Reza, Iran is set to hold presidential elections next month. And it does seem that perhaps the goal here is to get this nuclear deal up and running again before that. What, though, if that timeline just isn't met?
Well, observers have increasingly asked this question. Iran is going to have a new president in a month. And will that new president derail or impact in any way the process underway in Vienna to revive the deal? And at least for now, indications are that a new president will not. Keep in mind, Iran's nuclear policy is not devised or crafted by the president. It is established by a number of government organs and centers of powers and institutions, including the Supreme Leader, the Supreme National Security Council, the Revolutionary Guard, Iran's Atomic Energy Agency. And the policy, the way it stands right now, is that Iran wants a fair Iran nuclear deal. They want that deal revived. So it's very unlikely, perhaps impossible, for a president to come in and say, I'm going to scrap that policy. And even today, the head of the IAEA, Rafael Grossi, said that even if a new president comes, he's confident that they will continue this path to revive the deal. But the big question is, will the deal be revived? That remains to be seen.
All right, Reza Sayah for us there in Tehran. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting today. Now for